Hey guys, I wanted to go through this review sheet with you. Your exam is a week away, and the biggest part of your exam is going to deal with questions from Hamlet. This review sheet that you're getting will cover the kinds of questions that you'll need to be able to do. This first section has to do with identifying the speaker of quotations. Now, the real thing that you need to think about in this is not to memorize who says what, but to study the characters themselves and to know the characters, so that, because these quotations are ones that only the right answer could say. There are clues in all of these that deal with that tell you who the speaker is. An example would be number 5. If you look there, an eye of ladies most eject. There's only 2 women, and so it has to be a woman. I'll tell you that the most common mistake that people make in answering these is they don't look at those kinds of clues. So make sure you read the quotation closely. Close reading is really what it's all about. In section 2, you have to do a paraphrase. There will be a paraphrase on the exam. I want you to think about the paraphrase like you thought about the one that you did before. Be free with it. Make sure you cover everything that's covered, but don't just change words that you don't know to words you do know. That's not what you're supposed to do. Think about punctuation. Punctuation is the key. Remember that periods denote the end of a thought. So if you have a thought, make sure that you set up the idea that they're there for periods. The other part of it is words that you don't know. You should use a dictionary. Do not just ignore words that you don't know. Don't misinterpret words that you don't know. Look them up in a dictionary. That is really key. This passage that you have here is Hamlet's soliloquy that he says in Act 4, which you should have read around last night, that talks about he's just seen the army of Fortinbras marching through to go fight a small war over land that's not all that important. This is him internalizing what he's just seen. So take a look at that. Section 3, Hamlet's one-liners. Now, we've talked a lot about some of these. Hamlet speaks a lot of times in these one-liners filled with puns, with double meaning and unpacked meaning, pregnant phrases, those kinds of things. What I want to make sure that you do with these is look at them and talk about not where they come from, all that kind of stuff, but talk about what they mean and the multiple ways that he means them. There's puns here. Enter the conversation and engage intelligently about what Hamlet's words mean in both of the ways that they mean. So do that 1 through 8. Section 4 is simply defining aside and soliloquy. It's another chance to review that. Make sure you know those 2 terms. Section 5 are questions that you write paragraphs for. Those are pretty standard. Check those out. And then the last section, section 6, has to do with possible interpretations that of the text. Hamlet leaves a lot of unanswered questions, and if you're an actor or a director, you have to answer those questions for yourself so that you can know how to play the character. And so these interpretations of the text, I want you to defend with specific textual evidence for the choice that you make, or the choice that's being made here for you. So the first one is interpretation is that Ophelia is already pregnant with Hamlet's baby, i.e. the warning that Polonius and Laertes give Ophelia about Hamlet comes and the outcomes of her relationship come too late, and she's already pregnant by the time that the play begins. Think about how that would inform the actress, and think of what possible clues in the text could lead us to that conclusion. The second one here, the next 2 are really flip sides of the same one. One interpretation is that Gertrude and Claudius were involved in a romantic relationship before King Hamlet's murder. That Gertrude was an accomplice to the murder. That Claudius is Gertrude's natural true love, like Hamlet and Ophelia or Tristan and Isolde. Think about how that works. And then that even brings up the idea that Hamlet is in some ways Claudius's son, biologically. Think about how that would work in this. Look for clues in the text that would prove or that could suggest that interpretation. The last one is the flip side of that Gertrude is simply a lonely and distraught widow who in her depression over the loss of her husband seeks the security of the arms of her true love's brother Claudius. And so that their relationship doesn't start earlier, it's simply a reaction to the situation. Alright, good luck on this. Do the work. There's no substitute for doing the work. You got to do the work. To prepare for this exam, you are going to need to do work. You're going to need to study. You're going to need to read. You're going to need to familiarize yourself with the play more than maybe you are. You might watch a video of Hamlet just to get you to that point. There's a number of them on YouTube. There are short scenes, there are longer scenes, there are maybe even you can find the whole play. But good luck on this. If you have any questions, I will be here ready to answer. Just send me an email and I'll probably get back to you pretty close to immediately. Alright? Good luck, guys.